I'm Karen Miller and I'm here with you from the Scottish Highlands. It's a beautiful October morning, looking very autumnal today. If you listen carefully, you can hear the sound of the geese flying overhead. They do that every morning and it's one of my favourite sounds. So I'm just heading up to my red squirrel site, which is in the wood behind my house. I spend quite a lot of time up here with the squirrels. I like to call them my little red squirrel family. And over the next 6 or 7 minutes, I'm going to share a little bit with you about the history of the site and some of the characters and personalities that you witness there, both past and present. So I hope you can join me. So I'm sitting here at my red squirrel site. It's in deciduous woodland, just a few minutes from my house. I've been using this site since pretty much the first lockdown. I discovered it that I could get into this wood around about that time, and I hung a feeder with peanuts in a tree, and I put one of my drowning trail cameras on it. I came back a few days later and changed the card, and I couldn't believe it. I had badgers, pine martens and red squirrels visiting. You can't imagine how excited I was, because this has always been a dream of mine, and suddenly to have them almost in my garden was just so exciting. So I put a squirrel feeder up in one of the trees here, and then I put a little pop-up hide up on the hill just above it, and every day during that lockdown I would come down after I'd walked the dog and fed him and me, and I would just spend 2 or 3 hours in the hide watching these first 3 red squirrels that were coming in. So I named them. I had Patty, she was the dominant squirrel, very intelligent, and then there was Emmylou, who was a real sweetie, and then there was Slade. And Slade was a bit of a bully, but he had this beautiful button nose. So after a few months I moved the hide down to this flat area in front of me, and I used the hide here for a bit, and then I stopped using the hide and I just sat outside it, and the squirrels didn't seem to mind. You know, as long as I didn't move too much, I could talk, but I couldn't really move, because they considered it a safe space, a place where they could come down and get food and they wouldn't be harmed. So from then on I ditched the hide, and clients and myself, we just sit outside on the ground and watch the squirrels. And this is so much better than being in a hide, because A, you can see further, but you kind of feel part of the gang. You know, I don't try and hand feed them, I don't encourage them to come close. But, you know, sometimes they'll come over and have a quick look. Often they'll give themselves a fright when they do so. It's just such a lovely way to spend a morning, just here listening to the birds, watching the squirrels, the river tinkling down in the distance. It's my favourite thing to do, and I love to introduce it to other people as well. I mean, not only are the squirrels fantastic, but it's just a really nice place to spend time. So this is mid-October, and as you can see, the trees are just beginning to change colour. There's a few orangey yellow trees. The beech tree here, this big beech tree, has a few orange leaves. They tend to be one of the last trees to change. The bracken is certainly already a beautiful autumnal colour. I hate bracken in the summer. It's my arch enemy in this wood. But at this time of year, I don't mind it so much because it looks a lot more attractive. These trees you can see here in front, it's hard to distinguish them from the ones behind it right now, but these small beech trees, they turn orange in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and they keep their leaves all winter, which means that at the back there I have this beautiful soft orange background to all the images taken in that part of the site over the next 6 months. And it's one of my favourite things when those leaves change, and it's always really sad when they fall off in May and turn green again, because when the light catches them when they're green, they're really nasty. But it's worth it for the colour they provide during the autumn and right throughout the winter and early spring. So this is Marty. As you can see there, just about, he has like kind of a hole at the top of his ear there. Now, he's been with me since the summer, and he's stuck around, which is fantastic. I often lose squirrels at this time of year because they go off and search for food in other parts of the wood, and because they've cached food there, they tend to stick around in that area to use it during the winter. But the fact that Marty here along with the other two means I'm far more likely to continue to see these squirrels throughout the winter season. So red squirrels tend not to like each other very much, so you often find if two come in at once that the dominant one will chase away the lesser squirrel. The females do tend to be the dominant squirrels, although there often is a dominant male as well, and he will chase the other males away too. So I've got 2 squirrels now. I've got Marty, who's over there, over here, that's Marty, and Squirrel. Off she goes. Right, here's Marty. He's now coming in because Squirrel's the dominant of the 2 of them. And off he goes. This is the original tree that I had the feeder on. You can see the plate there still. I had to move it because I had a badger last year that I called Brutus, and he also came to my garden. And he could climb up to that feeder and was eating all the nuts every night. So I've moved the feeder over to that tree up there, which has got the kind of bark that hopefully the badger can't climb. This tree up here, this big one at the back, I call this the play tree because this tree has branches that go everywhere. We've got this long one that comes down that the squirrels use a lot. It also takes you into this tree here or right over into the trees over there, and in fact this tree right next to me. So from that tree the squirrels can get everywhere. This tree is also where I've had my only ever daytime pine marten sighting in this wood, and I was sitting here about this time of year, in fact, a few years ago with my mum, and a pine marten, probably a youngster, came and sat in that tree and watched us for 10 minutes, which was quite a thrill. So this is new kid on the block, Adam, and he has actually stopped to eat a nut, which is a bit of a novelty this morning. He pretty much stayed away while Sarah Lee was coming in, but she's gone now, so he's been in and out collecting nuts for the last 20 minutes or so. You can tell a squirrel who's been around for a while because they get into the hazelnuts incredibly quickly. Squirrels who are new can take up to half an hour to get into a hazelnut, which I sometimes actually almost want to go and take it from them and crack it open and hand it back. So his tail's gone pretty black, but he's still got his summer coat and only a couple of teeny tiny little hairs, which is the start of his tufts. Hazelnuts are really good for red squirrels. The shells help to keep their teeth shorter, and the nut itself has everything a squirrel needs. So it's a pretty much all-in-one perfect package. And squirrels, regardless of where they're from, seem to know that it's a good food, even if they've never tasted one before. So I'm heading home from my squirrel site now. I've had a fantastic morning with them as always. It's fantastic just watching them running around and caching nuts. If you'd like to join me here, I do run workshops at this site as well. So you just get in touch and I'll set that up for you. I do them all year round except for January and February. So please do come and join me, and I'll introduce you to all the squirrels and tell you a lot more facts about them. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you soon.